Hello and welcome to SongsBrew. I'm Zara,
And I'm Julia.
and this week we're talking lyrics.
Yeah. So it is actually really interesting to me because, in the end, what really stays with us from a song? Is it a beat, the melody, the mood? But I would surely say that it's rather the words.
I think so. Although no, I can be kind of tempted with the right beat. Like something will catch my attention pretty fast. I think we've spoken about it before. If I don't enjoy a song within the first maybe 5 seconds, I'll turn it off and I will never hear the lyrics.
Yeah, that's true. The beat is important as well, but I feel that sometimes the words are more important, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes you have to, yeah, keep listening to the song to actually like it, and then just think of it as some kind of poetry, let's say.
Yes, now that I do agree with. I agree wholeheartedly that some of the best songs are ones that if you took the music away, it reads more like a poem or even a short story.
Yeah, and then sometimes I have a feeling that if they would change a bit, then this song would be like perfect, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, but I know what you mean that if you don't like the beat in like 5 seconds, then you're not gonna listen to the lyrics.
I don't know why. I think I got to the point a really long time ago. If I do not enjoy something in a very short amount of time, there's that much other music I could be listening to that I just skip it. And I think it's just like when you read something, right? It needs to have a nice hook at the start. I feel the same way about music. If I don't love it really fast, or I don't like, if or I don't see like the potential in it, I'll just go. I'll just
Yeah,
leave.
yeah, I totally understand it.
Yeah, and I'm quite an anti-skip person in general. I do not like skipping, so it has to be something that I just know for sure I'm not going to get
Oh,
beyond.
so perhaps the lyrics is bad as well, so you're not like missing anything.
Yeah, that's yeah, it might be that. I might think like, oh, there's no potential here, so I'm leaving. But yes. Hmm.
I totally get it. So basically, as we already told you, today we're giving the spotlight to the words in general. So the lines that we scream in the car, or the verses we quote in our bios, or just the lyrics that show up in our journals when we don't know what else to write. Yeah, so lyrics are time capsules, I think.
Yes, I wholeheartedly agree with this one. I think they have this magical power of, and this is in the article songsbrew.com. Look for how lyrics stay with us for life, and all we have are lyrics. What's it called? What we have are lyrics.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, and we actually talk a little bit about it because I think that lyrics have this kind of magical power that when you're listening to
It does.
something, they'll take you back to the moment that you heard it.
Yeah, you hear just one line and boom, you're 16 again, laying on your bed with headphones in and trying to figure out your entire life.
Yes. Yes, that's exactly it. And I do think that's very cool. I don't think you get that from the beat of the music. I do think it only comes from lyrics.
Yeah, I feel so too. Like lyrics
Yes.
sticks because they say the things we wish we could say ourselves.
Yes.
They give shape to feelings we haven't figured out yet, and once you found the right lyric, it just lives with you.
Yeah, yes, for sure. I think there's a big trend and there has been for a long, long time now, people getting, and I find this fascinating because I think probably I would be the kind of person to do something like this. Getting lyrics like tattooed, the stuff that really means something to you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we pin a personal experience onto them lyrics. And we mentioned in the last newsletter, I think we spoke about how we can interpret lyrics however we want to. And I think this also massively leans into that. It's our personal experiences that we attached to lyrics written by somebody else.
Yeah, I fully agree.
Mm.
But I think that's magical.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's great. When we were putting the post together, we did some research to find what lyrics people enjoy. And one of my favorite places to go for musical opinions and conversations is Reddit.
Always the best one.
Yes, I think because people can be so straightforward, and because there's no
Yep.
faces there, they can say what they really mean about something. So if they hate something, they'll say it, and it's not just, "Oh, I don't like it." It's like, "I hate this. It's terrible." It's very divisive, and I enjoy that. Um,
Yeah. And they are honest in their opinions as well, because you're
yes,
kind of anonymous there. So,
exactly, and I think it's very cool. And there was a couple of sets of lyrics that people tended to agree on as what would be the best lyrics out there. One of them that came really high on almost any forum or subreddit that was talking about lyrics was "Love Will Tear Us Apart, Joy Division."
yeah.
Yeah, the specific lyric was when routine bites hard and ambitions are low and resentment rides high but emotions won't grow. For some reason, that really resonates with people.
Wow, that's interesting. I don't know if it resonates with me, but I do understand it though.
Yeah, I think it's kind of cool. I think it's a good one. And like I say, people will pin their own experiences on that.
Yeah, for sure. And basically the mood you are in as well. And I do like the lyrics that have double meaning at some
Yes.
point. I
Yes.
think that these are the lyrics that I resonate the most with, and that I can, I don't know, somehow connect it to a lot of situations in my life as well.
Yeah. I also went to Sputnik Music, and people make lists on there, lists of all sorts of things. And one of my favorite lists that I found was by a user called Spec. And at the top of his list was Neil Young with this line: "It is better to burn out than to fade away."
Oh yeah, that is a nice one.
I do like that one.
I sometimes wonder how people come up with such great lyrics and text, basically.
I think they're just fantastic writers. I think, but there's a couple of things. There's now like rooms filled with people who are writing songs, so they might not necessarily be written by one person.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's artists, and we've mentioned this a few times. Ed Sheeran, he writes for multiple different artists across multiple different genres, as do many artists. They do that, so they write with a different musician in mind, which I think is incredible.
yeah, it is. It
Mm,
really is.
yeah.
So, yeah, when we're talking about the lyrics, I wonder, because I know that it matters for us, but I wonder if actually it still does matter like it used to do. Like the charts are full of vibes, catchy phrases, aesthetic sounds, or even songs that don't make literal sense. Yeah, I just wonder if people still pay enough attention to the words in a song when they're listening to it.
That is actually a great question. I would like to think yes, because personally, I do not enjoy lyrics that are like nonsensical.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It looks like words mashed together, but because the beat is so catchy, people will, repeat them.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit guilty here. Because sometimes I find myself listening to the song just because of the beat, which is really catchy, but the lyrics, it's so shallow. Like the song that I sent you one time, I don't know if you remember, but I was mentioning that Kali Uch is featured in this song, and when I was listening to it every time when I was by myself or with my friends, I was like, okay, this song is cool, but then when I sent it to you, I was like, oh my God, the lyrics is so shallow, but the melody and the vibe is really cool. So I'm guilty here. But yeah, but at the end, I found out that this song is actually pretty shallow and pointless.
Yes.
But yeah, it's nice for parties. If you want to know what the song is, it's "Sad Girls Love Money."
Do you know what? For you, for our listeners, we will put the link to this song in the description this week. We're going to try and make sure that the songs that we are mentioning we add there, so you can also take a listen. That's what we will do. Yeah.
Now I'm a little bit ashamed. Sorry.
No, I like it. So in the newsletter that went out, we actually spoke about some songs that mean something to us. We mentioned
Yeah.
Elvis Presley's My Way. We also mentioned November Rain, Guns N' Roses, Johnny Cash, The Man That Comes Around, Mr. Pitiful, Otis Redding. But my question is a little bit on the spot. So, are there any other lyrics or other artists that really you find it doesn't have to like resonate in a deep
Mhm.
sense? But is there anything that when you've heard it, you've like, oh, that's really smart, or that's really funny, or that's like something you'd listen to for those lyrics?
Yeah, I mean, I have a sad one by Christina Aguilera, Hurt. And this one, I remember when I was listening to when I was a child, to be honest. And I remember crying to this song because it was so sad to me, even though I didn't understand everything in this song. But yeah, after a couple of years listening to it, understanding each word, I was like, oh my God, this song is like really, really sad. It's about disappointing, etc. And sometimes I had this feeling that maybe at some point I disappointed my parents in some kind of way. And every time this song was coming up and I was listening to it, um,
Oh,
yeah, so that was like in a sad moments of my life. But I spoke to them, and they told me that I never disappointed them, so that's a good sign.
all of those tears for nothing.
Yeah, I like listening to this song when I'm like really sad and I had this feeling that maybe I did something wrong and someone is not like happy with my actions or something, or that I'm not just doing enough. But yeah, but it's just like during the breakdowns that I have. Anyway, I do have a lot of songs that I find actually funny and catchy. And I love listening to Justin Timberlake, Can't Stop the Feeling. Like
Oh
it
yeah,
always gives me this like really cheered vibes and just like having a good day kind of energy, you know?
that's the one from the Trolls movie, right?
Yeah, I think it was from
Yeah.
the Trolls. Yeah.
Yes, I actually like quite a lot of the songs from the Trolls. I do find them very upbeat and catchy.
Yeah, I actually do like a lot of songs from Disney movies or Pixar movies or some animated movies, whatever. I just like love the soundtrack.
I think for me, one of the songs that came across so smart in terms of writing was actually Eminem with Stan.
Oh yeah.
It's a full story, right?
Yeah, it's a full story, totally. I love listening to this song, especially when it's raining outside. Lol.
Yes, it's so good, and how he ties the two parts together in the end. And I mean, and
Yeah,
obviously it's a very sad one. It's quite like
it's a very sad one.
yeah, especially as time's gone on from when he wrote this to now, there's been lots of situations with fans um
Yeah.
who have done terrible, terrible things because they couldn't get in touch with the person who they think is their idol. And yeah, but yeah, that's one of the ones that always springs to mind when I think of lyrics. I do often think of Eminem.
Yeah, I also think that the song is like really catchy because you don't know it's based on a kind of real story from
Yeah.
Eminem's life. And you know, I was like so surprised at the end of the song when I heard like the end of it, like, oh my God, it was you, you know? So
Yes.
yeah, it was like, wow.
Yes. I do enjoy.
Feel the melody, the rhythms, the lyrics, and I could like imagine all of the things that he was rapping about. And it just like, yeah, it's one of the best songs, I think.
Yeah. I think we're in a time where because we have access to lyrics now and we didn't really used to, if you heard something on the radio, you would make up your own lyrics and sometimes they were very, very wrong.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But now we have the opportunity to read them, or if you buy like vinyls, you usually get an insert with lyrics on it, or depends what you buy in now. But you
Which
can
is
easily
amazing.
Yeah, you can easily Google them now. And I think one of the most interesting things is there's subreddits and other forums that are dedicated to interpreting the lyrics of songs. And I think that's fabulous.
Yeah, I think it is because even though the artist has this like specific idea in mind and shares what is it about, I do feel that we have sometimes our own interpretations of the song, and they are quite opposite from time to time.
I would agree with that. I do think we do pin our own life experiences onto them,
Yeah.
and it's strange because we see a lot of the artists' real life now across social media and just general everyday reporting, and you can see where some of the songs come from, like broken relationships, things happening in their life. Um, and so when they release new albums after these like tumultuous times, you can pinpoint the songs to those moments for them. And yet, even with that knowledge, knowing where those songs come from, or when they do interviews and talk about the purpose behind the song, we still go ahead and go, well, to me, it means something else,
Yeah, that's completely true.
which I find really, really funny.
Yeah, it is, especially that if sometimes like the song is about broken heart and going through tough times, being over a relationship or something, usually with a boyfriend or girlfriend. But I sometimes have like this feeling, oh, it might be about the friendship that I used to have or something.
Yeah.
Like
Yes,
it
we're
sounds
just
so similar because you know you have to sometimes have these toxic friends and it's like a toxic relationship, and when you like get over with them, it's like, oh my god, this song is totally about this toxic relationship that I had, but it was a friend.
yes, yes. There was another example in the article, and I really enjoy this particular line, and it's from Lil Wayne. But it just says, "Real G's move in silence like lasagna." And for
I wonder if there's like a double meaning in this one.
well, yes, there is. Like, obviously, there's G's for gangsters, like gangsters move in silence. But the fact that he's put it in, move in silence like lasagna, for some reason, I will never not enjoy that line.
Yeah, I don't know how. Maybe it was for the rhythm and rhymes, etc. But I totally don't get this line. Like move in silence like lasagna. I didn't
Yes,
know that lasagna can move in silence.
it's got a G in it that you don't pronounce.
Yeah,
So it's lasagna, but it's spelt
yeah.
with a G. So that,
Oh my God, that's so weird. No, okay, so I don't resonate with this line, but I find it funny to be honest. But I think I'm not gonna listen to this song though.
no, I really, really enjoy that. I can't remember what song it's from. Oh my,
I'm not listening to Lil Wayne, so I don't know either. But if someone knows, just let us know in the comment.
oh, it's from the song 6 foot 7 foot.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and I can't remember the rest of it, but it's very, very funny. But he's quite a well respected writer as well in terms of lyrics. So if you don't really listen often, that might be one to read. I'm not sure if you could say it would be poetry, but then I'm not sure because I'm not a fan.
It might be just nice experience to listen to it and gather my own opinions.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if I can survive this, to be honest. This is not kind of music that I actually enjoy or enjoy on daily basis. Like I do listening to American rap songs from time to time, but not on a daily basis. It has to be like really, really catchy. I just love Eminem though, so
Yeah, if I was gonna go for any particular like rappers, I'd probably go for like Stormzy, Kano, that kind of one. So they're UK based ones, Wretch 32, and I think those are very nice with the lyrics. And Wretch 32 actually has a book. It's called Rapthology. I've remembered now, and it's like an autobiography. But I think because they are such fantastic lyric writers, I have this belief for some reason that a book that they would write, depending on their skill level, would also be interesting to read. But I think his actually goes into detail about what it's like to put the music together.
yeah. When we're talking about rap and hip hop songs or whatever, I'm mostly into like this kind of songs that do have a meaning, like some really brilliant suggestions, or I don't know, just the lyrics that actually make sense rather than just drop, top, grab, whatever. You know what I mean?
I know
Yes.
exactly what you mean. I am not massively into any songs that talk about shooting people or that kind of, I don't know. I think it's because it's so outside of my own personal experience that I can't, yeah, it's difficult to relate to it. And even though lyrically it can be great and the instrumentals can be fantastic, it's still just outside of my personal experience. So I find it a little bit more difficult to go, okay, yes, let's go shooting people this weekend with a Glock that's in my car. Like, it's something I've never done.
That is not a good idea, to be honest.
Yeah. And I probably wouldn't do it, just for clarity. That's not.
Yeah. Otherwise, we won't be recording this podcast again.
Yeah, if I'm happened not to be back next week or any other week from here on out, it's probably because I went ahead and did the thing that I've just said I'm never going to do, you know? That's it. Oh my gosh. But yeah. Oh, that brings me to a good question, I think. Do
Okay.
you think the lyrics in songs encourage people to take specific actions the same way as they talk about games having a negative impact on people who play them? Like, are they going to be more aggressive? Do you think lyrics can encourage people to take actions like the one we were just talking about?
I think you're reading in my mind because I had the same questions for you. Um, but yeah, I wanted to talk about it a little bit more because I think if you are, let's say, normal person without any issues, mental, especially mental issues, then then it is fine to listening to such songs from time to time just for the vibe or something. But I do think that there are people around the world that take a courage from the song and want to be, I don't know if they want to be lifesavers by killing someone, obviously,
Mm.
or something like that. But I think that if you're some kind of fanatic, then lyrics might be something that could encourage you to do or take bad actions.
Yes. So, uh, obviously, these kind of things have been researched. Almost everything in the world's been researched to us like a degree. Um, and we know that some music can be used for political impact, raising awareness, and all that kind of stuff. And also, certain songs can motivate us to do something.
Yeah.
For example, a lot of us use music just to be more productive in our everyday life. But there is apparently some research suggesting that exposure to violent lyrics can increase aggressive thoughts and feelings. So then, if you could combine that with a person who might already be predisposed to taking those kind of actions, perhaps there is a link somewhere. But I don't know. I don't know.
I think it's personal experience as well. And it's
Yes.
really difficult to define whether it has an impact or not,
Hmm.
because then you would have to just like ask someone who actually took an action from the lyrics. But that would be a cycle probably.
Yeah.
Not offending anyone, but you know what I mean. Like I'm talking about something really violent, and yeah, that person would be, I don't know, provoked by some lyrics, then he would just like admit to it.
Yeah.
But you never know.
Yeah, a combination of what we've previously discussed with the toxic fandom. I think they talk about a link between the lyrics and the violent behavior is like something that we don't fully understand. But I think combining with what you've just mentioned about somebody who might not be in the best frame of mind and more easily influenced, and music does influence us to do certain things or be a certain way as just culture and general things, then
Yeah.
maybe there is some sort of link between it. But I think it's very dangerous to say a rap song will force somebody to go out and commit a crime.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think it's a bit dangerous.
Yeah, at the end of the day, music is also entertainment. So it's not something that you would actually do, but just like I don't know, to give you some kind of emotions.
Yes, that's it. It does.
Not necessarily doing the same. Like, yeah. Like, I like listening to the weekend songs, which are, I think,
Yes.
toxic a little bit as well. But I've never cheated my boyfriend.
Well, yes, and and nor have we ever turned the Ritz into, an unsavory space, I would guess.
Yeah.
Hmm. So there is that. No, I agree. But yeah, I think that's where lyrics begin to get quite complicated, depending on who's listening and how deeply you take them on board. And we shouldn't forget that to the person who's writing them, these could just be words. It could be something that they would never actually do in real life.
Yeah, and sometimes it means totally nothing to them. It's just words that could entertain other or resonates with the audience that they have.
Yep. And they just get a hit for it, or they get to go viral, and it's like, okay, cool. It doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm.
That's a great point.
Yeah. Yes. So if you could pick maybe two or three artists that when they write something, you're definitely going to listen to whatever they release because you enjoy their writing, who would they be?
Mm, I think probably Ed Sheeran.
Mm.
I do like his music, and every time he releases new song, it's on my playlist to just give it a listen. To be honest, um, I would say that Benny Blanco. I think as well. I know he's a music producer, but he writes some songs as well,
Yeah.
and a lot of them for a lot of different artists. So so I would listen to Benny Blanco's song, probably because he does it for mainstream artists, basically. So
Mm.
it's like kind of impossible for me not to listen to them. But I've heard during his interview that he tries to find indie artists or some like smaller artists as well, which is really cool, I think, because he's giving them a
Yes.
chance to um, go to the mainstream, but also like invest money in them. So that's really cool. And the third person I would listen to, I don't know, but I like listening to Adele. So maybe I'd pick her. I like her
Oh,
music, and yeah, and my mom's also loves her. Um, so yeah, I think I would go with Adele. Though I'm not sure if she writes her own songs. But
yeah.
yeah,
I think
I would listen to anything that's Adele.
Yeah, I like listening to her as well. I think that's a good point because we don't know if the people that we're choosing have written all their own songs, but I think because they're consistent with what they put out, a pretty good bet.
Yeah. And I do like her voice as well, so it's a
Oh
very
yeah,
strong one.
it's beautiful. She sings beautifully, and also I think she's very funny as a person, which means
Yeah, she is. She is.
so I enjoy her music a little bit more. I think just because she's quite funny as a person.
Yeah. Yeah, I have the same feeling, to be honest. And I think that Rolling in the Deep was the first song that I learned singing in English, to be honest. And I remember doing a karaoke with my best friend, and it's been like 15 years, I think, since we've learned it. But every time we're like gathering together and just like singing some songs, Adele's always on the playlist.
That's so nice. That's really nice.
Yeah, so it's also like kind of personal thing because this song always reminds me about my best friend, so that's really cool as well.
Yeah. And that
Yeah.
is exactly what we were talking about when it comes to lyrics. That's that
Yeah.
one song reminds you for 15 years of something that was
Or
so
even
fun.
more. I don't know. I don't want to get older, so I'm thinking that I'm 19, but I'm not.
I think we all do that.
So yeah, like I stopped in time. I stopped
Yeah.
counting years.
Ah, that seems like the best thing to do. Okay, so we're coming up to the half an hour mark, which is our cutoff point. Thank you for joining us for lyrics. We would love you to go and leave a comment with your favorite lyrics. We'll also leave a space here so you can add them because the podcast does allow comments. You can also find our podcast on iHeartRadio now if that's your preferred listening point. I've been Zara.
I've been Julia, and we'd love to know what's sticking with you regarding the lyrics, basically.
Yes. So catch you on the next one.
Yep. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
1,